for us.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
No,
This isn't going out on the internet.
it's not.
Well, maybe.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing? Good. How are you? Yeah.
You look kind of sleepy. Did you get a lot of sleep last night?
I ain't sleepy. Oh, shit. No, I ain't sleepy. I'm good. I got good rest last night. There we go.
Did the Northwestern game, the first round, leave a bad taste in your mouth, I'm guessing?
Yeah, of course it did. We felt like that was a game that we played hard enough to win. And, you know, and it's hard to get wins in this conference, so when you're right there, you really want to get them.
It kind of feels like after that game, there's maybe just a difference in this team. Did that feel like a turning point for you guys where you kind of put your foot down and said it's time to maybe do something differently? You guys were pretty beat up after that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, like, this is a hard conference. It's the best the best out of all of them. So when you right there in the game for a win and you got to just make a couple plays to get the win, I mean, it always leaves a bad taste in our mouth. And we know that them being from Chicago and us being like the main state school, we know that pretty much they want what we have. So this game is always makes it a rivalry and just makes it more special.
You guys have had some success facing teams the second time after they were able to get the win in the first matchup. Is that something you guys have talked about a little bit this week?
Oh, yeah. We know we're a much better team, much different team, way better defensively and offensively. So we're looking for our revenge.
There's a little bit of some, I think that down the stretch, late game execution that wasn't great in that first time around, the shot clock, and then that last shot. How are you guys different from that?
I mean, I feel like we're much better now. We have ways where we can finish games out, close games out, and we're much comfortable in our roles down the stretch.
Yeah, it's bunched up as the Big Ten, is kind of top to bottom. So how important are these last three games to maybe get back on, the winning track and maybe avoid that first day of the Big Ten tournament?
Very important. I mean, our next three games, we have Northwestern, Indiana, Penn State, and all teams are right there with like maybe 1 or 2 wins to separate each other. And that's big because the difference between playing 5 games and having to win 4 games. So we just want to come out and get back in the win column so we can build some momentum for the Big Ten tournament.
And the fact that all 3 of those teams got you all right, does that provide a little extra motivation for the final week of the season?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're much better when we play a team the second time around. We just get more familiar with their actions, and we can make the adjustments.
What are you guys able to take out of that game against Purdue? What's the biggest learning point coming out of that?
I mean, they had a great team, especially at home. I mean, they haven't lost in like 2 years. So, I mean, we played well. We just felt like we made little mistakes, and we let them capitalize after it. But they're a good team.
Tweeted something about it being March and March Madness. What does this month add to games that you guys have?
I mean, we really don't have anything to lose. So we'll come out and just play our hardest and just try to win each and every game. We already proven that we can beat anyone in the conference and really anyone in the country. So when we have that mindset, I feel like we're dangerous to play because like we're playing. We don't have anything to lose, really.
We've seen you spend a lot of extra shooting time with the managers out here over the last few weeks, but you've been kind of cold in the game. Is it more mental, more mechanism?
No, I don't believe in mental. I just feel like that it's just got to just get more reps. I just feel like you can always shoot 500 shots. You go in a game and go 0 for 3. This is just about staying strong mentally, just believing in the repetition. I know I put the reps into the gym and the hard work in. So when I miss shots, I don't ever get down on myself because I know it's going to go in. And sometimes I get mad at myself. Sometimes a little bit when I miss shots, but then I just think about it, like I know I put the work and the reps in. So all I could do is just keep shooting.
You guys have played at some pretty tough places. Mackey's a tough place, the Kohl Center. How do you guys grow from those games and kind of look at the other games different that aren't as hostile?
I mean, when you play in those hostile environments, it just makes it appreciated when you're at home and you got the whole 15,000 here cheering for you. So we got 2 out of our last 3 at home, and we go just try to help the fans just give us another boost so we can try to get some wins.
What do you guys feel like you did well against Northwestern that first time? You said you played well enough to win. What were some of the things that you guys look back on and identify as good?
We played well defensively and offensively. I feel like we got a little fatigued, maybe. But, I mean, we both played well. I mean, we didn't grab the offensive rebound, the defensive rebound at the end of the game. But little things like that, just little small details that were very fixable.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
What's up?
You had time to come up with any new material since our last meeting?
No, I wasn't thinking about that. I was catching up with my sleep.
Aaron, that last game against Northwestern, it feels like really got away, and I know you guys were pretty beat up after that. Does that feel like a point that you guys kind of really came together and maybe made a turn and started playing a little better, a little more motivated?
Most definitely. We showed a lot of things. We didn't even play our best game, but we were still in it. We knew if we cleaned up some mistakes that game, we could have came out with a W. But it's definitely something we remember. So yeah.
You spent much time watching them play, apart from just the scouting report, like when they're on TV?
Definitely. It's the Big Ten. Watch your opponents. Every game is different. Every game is exciting and fun. So when you're a part of it, you just want to see it.
And like Vic Law running the point, or their basic lineup change, how has that made it different from the last time you played him?
He's a good player, but we'll put a plan together. That helps us win.
Aaron, Io mentioned that it's Northwestern. They kind of want to be with the University of Illinois. You've seen them quite a few times here. It's your last time seeing them. What do you see different in them when they play you guys, and maybe when you see them on film with other teams? Do you see different fire?
Considering we're both in the state of Illinois, yeah, definitely a different fire. Everybody's gonna be riled up. Fans are gonna be riled up. But now we're on our terms. We're on our court, so it'll be exciting.
The bottom half of the Big Ten standings are all pretty tight. Just how important would be some wins in this last week to, maybe stay out of that first day of the Big Ten tournament?
Definitely, but we're just taking it one game at a time. We know the circumstances of everything. We talk about it all the time. Say, we got to put ourselves in the best position to come out on top.
Late game execution got you guys with the rebound, the shot clock. How have you guys grown from that and improved?
Just as I was watching film yesterday, I said, we're a much better team than we were back then to now. So we've been in situations like that as basketball. Things happen, but we got to do our best to correct it.
Coach Underwood kind of mentioned that this is the second time you're playing all these last three teams. Scouting report for the newcomers is going to be a little easier, kind of get to prepare as veterans. How much easier is it that second time facing a team, kind of knowing some of their tendencies, a little more hands-on?
Yeah, you already know, like you said, but that helps us because we can cover more things. We can just get ready in different ways, knowing what we did last time, correcting our mistakes, knowing what they did and the adjustments they made. Because everybody's playbook changes, as the season goes on, just depending on who you play.
How big is that for the new guys as well, since you guys have had some success the second time meeting teams this season?
Yeah, that's huge for them. Just knowing they can catch on quicker. They know, like, oh, I did this last time, I remember this, so we can move forward faster.
You have considerably more of the offense installed since the last time you played them, which is going to make, I would think, an advantage for you versus them.
Definitely, but we got guys playing good right now. Guys who need to step up in their roles, so it's just another opportunity.
The growth that you guys have showed, it feels like just taking really big steps from the beginning of the season. Is this something that's kind of different, just how big that step has been for this team? You've been on a few teams. Have you seen a team make this kind of big step into the same year?
Well, my time here, I have not, to be honest. That's pretty obvious just by looking at it. But, being able to be a part of that, just watching guys grow, watching guys catch on, that's remarkable. It's definitely a positive, coming out of this season. It's something that, everybody wants to look forward to. Like, oh, what did we look like in the beginning of the season versus now? But, with that being said, we just got to.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Getting the crazy Russian?
Sure.
Would you take offense to that? Russia maybe not the greatest match.
Not historically, perhaps. He does speak Russian. Hey, let's do this interview in Russian.
I would
You guys speak Russian?
Raise your hand.
My preference is maybe not.
Oh, good pass. How you doing?
Greetings. What are you going to do? You ready? What are you going to do differently this time to beat Northwestern?
Play harder. As a team, as a group, we're going to play harder. We are hungry for this game as we have 2 games left at home. So we'll try to give everything for our fans at home.
You've got a thing right here in your beard. We'll edit that out. Okay, start again.
Oh, thank you.
Giorgi, a little foul trouble against Purdue. What's that like when you know you can make an impact on the floor and you have to watch? How frustrating is it? How should you kind of grown in those moments?
It is really frustrating because, especially as you said earlier in the season, I used to get there a lot, but then I grew out of it. You know, I wasn't in foul trouble that much, but then it happened again. It's really frustrating. As a player, you want to be on the court and help your team to win, but it happened, and I can change it now. I can just watch the film and learn from it how bad mistakes that I made and don't make them again.
Since you had your breakout a couple of weeks ago, how have you noticed teams change the way that they approach and guard you?
I mean, as soon as I caught the ball against Purdue, double team was coming, so that's totally different for me now. I have to learn how to play those teams, you know, how to play against double team. You know, it's a hard thing to do, but I think with experience, I will learn how to play that. And if the teams don't double team me, that's good for me.
And also probably your teammates' responsibility to get to a spot where you can see them to pass out.
Sure, yeah. It's a team sport. Everything. The double team on me means everybody else has to do their job too, you know. But ball will be in my hands. I have to make the right decision. But as you said, teammates have to be in right spots too.
Giorgi, the way that last Northwestern game played out, you guys were right there. A couple mixed executions down the stretch. What do you remember about the feeling? You know, it seemed like you guys were really particularly beat down about that game. What do you remember about that feeling?
It was a bad feeling, you know, to lose, I think, by 2 or 3 points or whatever. It's a rivalry game. Energy is different. You know, both teams are ready to play. I feel like we haven't had good games in the last couple of games. Northwestern hasn't really played well. But for this game, it's a real rivalry game, I would say, and both teams will be ready to play.
Giorgi, your last 3 games, all against teams you guys have played before. What gets easier that second time? You guys have had some success in second matchups with people.
Not really easier. It's just a feeling that you already have played the team and you have feeling for them. You know what's coming. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's really easier because teams get more hungrier for the second game. Even if you won or lost the first game, you just hungry. You're like, okay, if I won one game, I want to win another one. And if you lost, you're even hungrier. Okay, I lost one, I want to win one. So it just it's pretty much the same. You just have to feel for the team who you play.
You guys have lost the first matchup with all these 3 teams. That's something you guys have talked about, wanting to get a little bit of that revenge.
Oh yeah, sure. Especially against a team like Northwestern, who is from our state, you know. And we want to. We lost one, and we definitely want to win the second game.
How different are you guys from a late game standpoint? There were maybe some trip ups and down the stretch in that game. How different are you guys now late in the game?
I mean, after that game, we have a lot of games where we were close at the end and we executed well. We won those games, so we feel a lot more confident at the end of the game. If it's a close game, that we can win the game. So it's just the experience that we have now from the other games. That's basically we learned from the experience.
Did that game feel like a turning point? Like we can't let this feeling happen again? It feels like you guys have played much better since that first game against Northwestern.
To be honest, I don't really remember, but it could have been, you know, because it was so close. We were up by a point, and then they hit a 3, you know. So you could say that was the turning point for us. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Giorgi.
Thank you.
Yeah, go. What?
Is that it?
That was a foul and ran 2.